Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And once again, we are joined by Angie George. Hello.
Hi again.
I know, it's amazing. I don't know if you realise, but every time you've been down, you've always been wearing the same thing.
It's the blazer, it's the blazer,
it's
isn't
very
it?
smart, very
it's
smart.
It's the blazer.
I do keep making these jokes. People now realise that it's all done on the same day. Right. Now, what are you going to do today? I know what you're going to do today, but I'm going to start by bringing this in. Let's bring this in.
Okay, so basically, I mean, all I've done is made a base, a quick base. It's probably not organically correct or whatever, but I've created the bases to try and show you how you can use floral materials to create lines and interest into a design.
So this is not what we're showing. This is just the base for what it is.
Yeah, because there's other ways, that this is, to do organics is a different lesson altogether.
Yeah.
So all I'm showing you is I'm following on from the florals that we've used. Yeah. And we're going to try a bit of fresh floral.
Okay, all right.
As well as artificial florals.
Okay.
And we'll look at the difference as to, the main difference is the price.
Yes.
So we'll have a look at how we can incorporate florals into a standalone display. And these are really good because not everybody has got the budget for these big organic walls, the big organic garland arches. But someone might like something small for a baby shower or just a birthday. To be honest, when I make these, and I've done all different characters, and I mean, I've got Halloween one I can show you, a heart one for a wedding, Easter bunnies.
Okay.
So today I thought I'd put a koala in to theme it the Australia theme, seeing as that's my destination soon.
Indeed. Well, you know what? You might, by the time this goes out, you might even be there.
You never know.
You're not here. You might be in Australia. Do you want to tell everybody why you're going to Australia?
I'm looking to go in November and then back again in April the following
And you're
year.
just going to travel around?
I'm mainly going to see my daughter.
But travel around?
And we will do some travelling.
So you're going to be a teenager. You're going to go travelling as a teenager.
Yeah, backpacking.
Indeed.
But in comfort. Backpacking in comfort this time.
I don't blame you. Right. So if anybody, you mentioned organics there. If anybody does want to learn organics, you run an organics course, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Where do people have to go to find out about your courses?
Okay. So if you go to my website, which is creativecraftworkshops.co.uk.
Yep.
Or my Instagram, which is at Creative Craft Workshops.
Okay.
And I normally, put up the dates that all the different courses are going out. The organics is generally one a month.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, well, depends on what month this is going out.
Yeah,
but so it's generally one a month.
Yeah. Okay.
For the organics, but there's other bits in between.
Yeah. And also, I noticed that you've wrapped this in string.
Yeah.
So it's that simple. You just got string and just spun it around.
And just spun it around really quickly.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if some of the pole is showing because it's going to be a bit of a woodland theme with fresh florals. It's just another way of covering the pole. So you could wrap it in a ribbon, a jute ribbon, a satin ribbon. Yeah. You can 260Q wrap it.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got a BMTV Balloon Basics on there. If
Perfect.
We'll put it on screen.
Yeah, so you can bring your colours through. So you could either pick out the green and bring the green through, or whatever colour you want to bring it through the design.
Yeah.
But I just thought we'd do something different today and we'd wrap it in some string.
Okay. So let's put it down on the stool.
Okay.
And you're going to be working on the top of this, aren't you? I mean, not on top of it, but does it need to be down a bit further? Shall I just put it all the way on the floor? Is that
That's probably about my height, Greg.
Okay, yeah. All right, there we are.
I'm not the tallest of people. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to attach a foil to the top. Just using a 160 here. And I'm going to do my blue Peter. One I prepared earlier.
Indeed. It's a nice little balloon, isn't it?
Isn't he adorable?
It is. I've cuddled a koala.
Oh, they're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're so docile, aren't they?
They are very docile, yeah.
Yeah, they're really sweet. So this, I mean, the koala, you could make it into a baby shower theme.
Yeah.
So you could bring the pinks through. So even if you kept it sort of neutral, earthy colours, you can bring spots of pink through if it's going to be a girl's birthday or
yeah.
a baby, or you can bring the blues through, or you could even put the lemons through it to do a baby shower.
Yeah, yeah.
These cute little bears.
These, I should point out, these are all Sempertex balloons, aren't they?
They are. I've used Sempertex today.
Do you know what colours they are?
Yes, you've got white sand,
White sand.
reflex lime green,
Yep.
and reflex silver.
Very good.
So that's all I've used, just the 3 colours.
Yeah.
So, and they're all single.
Yeah.
They're not double stuffed.
Yeah.
So I'm just rolling this first of all. Oh, the third hand, eh?
I'm here to help.
There you go. So that's there, and we're just going to tie him in. Now the thing is, everyone seems to put things, or not everyone, but people tend to feel that everything should go in the centre. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be to the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it will just give it a bit more character.
Yeah.
Sometimes offsetting at say 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock
Yeah.
just gives it a bit more line, and so even him sitting in there, he could be sitting in the tree a little bit high on the eucalyptus leaves or the gum leaves.
Barcode on there.
Okay, so we can turn him round.
I was gonna say, is there a way to
Or
to
we
do
could
something?
even just
Cover it up.
cover him up.
Simple. I quite like the jaunty angle. That's good.
Yeah, so it's just, so it doesn't matter. So don't panic if you're not getting your thing dead central and dead straight, as long as you pull it in tight so that he sits up.
Yeah.
And also make sure that your top cluster is at the top of the pole, because if you've got your pole sticking out, your foil's not going to sit in there.
Yeah.
If he's bending forwards or backwards, just bring a little cluster and push it behind him.
I think that's the great
to
thing
hold
about
him.
organic, isn't it? You can really
You can just
play
add
with it.
wherever you
Whereas
like. I mean, if we wanted to, we could bring this up round the back here,
I guess with classic decor.
and then that would make him sit
yeah.
a little bit straighter as well.
Actually, that's pretty
Yes.
perfect.
So, or you could bring him over to the side. So if we just leave him there for today.
But I guess with classic decor, it always had to be, because everything was
Everything
very
is so
even.
formal and yeah.
I like that. I do quite like him sitting straight up, even though you've got the balloons
Yeah,
all a
so
bit
you
random.
but if you've got a few of them, you can have the poles at different heights. So one could be higher, one could be lower. Then you're getting all them different angles.
Yeah.
And it gives it a little bit more character.
Yeah.
One can, I mean, you can get the air-filled 14-inch. Is it 14-inch, 12-inch? I think it is.
What? Oh, the...
Of this one.
Oh, I don't know what
you can
size
get
it
the
is.
smaller
We've
one
got
and
the
sit
little
the
version of
smaller
it,
one down there.
Yeah.
Or you could do it the opposite way around and bring the big one down here and have the little one at the top.
Yeah.
So that you've got all the koala, you could make a koala sort of...
Yeah.
I love koalas.
So what are we going to do?
So now we're going to add some florals.
All right.
Just to add a bit of texture and interest. So what have we got here?
You call them florals.
Oh,
There's no flowers on here.
It's
So what are they?
floral.
Shall I
isn't
take
it?
shall I take the plastic bits off the little?
You can
little
take. You
things?
can take this.
Make myself useful. It is funny, isn't it? We call things florals, like we call these artificial flowers, but they're not. They're artificial, whatever they are.
Foliages.
Yes. What is this?
That's just your label.
Just joking. I know, but I wondered if it said what it was.
So here I've brought some fresh along to show you the difference.
Oh wow.
So I've got some ivy as well.
That's fresh. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely smell
You
something.
can, it's the eucalyptus
Is
you
it?
can smell, yeah. It's got a beautiful smell,
That's really
hasn't
nice.
it?
Yeah.
Smells lovely. So what you can do here is you can just take a few strands. Oops, what have I got? So I did actually notice around the corner from here on this site as you just drive in.
Yeah.
They've got a
Van Vliet.
floral,
Yeah.
Van Vliet's,
Yeah.
where this is where I get all this from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all my fresh florals I go to Van Vliet for.
Yeah. So any florists out
Sorry.
there watching us, you go to Van Vliet in Southampton on Calmore Industrial Estate. We're just round the corner.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Pop round.
So I've just got a few strands of ivy there, throwing it everywhere. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie it on, because that way you can tie it in. So I see a lot of people just poking their flowers into the balloons, but if your balloon broke, burst, whatever, that floral is going to fall out.
Ah, right. Yeah, it would.
So if you can prepare all your florals and just have it there so that you can actually just tie it in.
Okay.
Okay. Now sometimes balloons do go pop with florals, artificials, we all know that happens. What you can do, you can get stem tex, which is like a tape. It's a crepe paper tape, and you can just wrap it around the stems.
Got a forest tape.
I think you have.
Yeah.
So you can just put a piece around there, and that will stop anything sharp coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create. Shall we put this on the step now, so we can bring it up a bit?
There it is. There we are.
There it goes. So I'm just going to bring this in here. Tie it in.
That's like it's growing out of it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so now all you've done is created a real... So at the moment, you've got a piece of organics here, a piece of organics here. So they're set, although they're one design, they're separate. You've got your full stops.
Yeah.
There's your sentence, full stop, and it comes here.
Yeah.
So you've got that pause. So what you're trying to do is create the rhythm.
Okay.
So from here, we've got this piece of, and now my eye is coming up. So all of a sudden you're creating a rhythm rather than pauses in between.
So is this a comma instead of a full stop?
It might be a comma.
There we are.
There you go. So you've created that line to bring the two pieces together. So we'll add a little bit more to just give it a bit of character.
So is this what designers think about? They say a good design, you don't realise it's been designed. It's.
I think so. You must have heard of elements and principles of design. They're your basic building blocks for any design work, whether you're cake decorating, event styling, balloon decorating, graphic design, you know, they are your building blocks, and it talks about your elements and your principles. It's not something you learn overnight. It's learned by putting it into practice. But if you actually look at every design you do, and so have a look at it and do a tick box against the elements and principles. Okay. Because if you're doing that, your design will start to come together. So you're using line, you're using textures, you're using colours. Your colours are forming line. You're using different, like the foils and the latex contrasts. So cool. So that's what we think about when we're doing it. So I'm just gonna. Let's have a look. I just want a piece coming out. Actually, we could probably put that in there like that. Just give that a bit of a trim. So normally I'd tie it in, but what I'm going to do for today's purpose, I'm just going to place him in so that we can just get the idea of what we want to do.
I'll hold it.
Oops. Do you know what, maybe I'm going to push that down to the floor for a minute. Work at my height. There you go, that's better. And then we can have another little piece just coming out here.
That's great.
Yeah, so obviously it would be tied in, and then you can just have a piece of replicating that down the bottom there, just to...
Jungle themes are very on vogue at the moment as well, aren't they?
Jungle themes are, and see the thing is though, if you're doing a jungle theme, you'd use the right florals.
Yeah.
So you'd use more palm leaves and that sort of thing, where this is more... It gives more of a woodlandy feel to it. Yeah. But I thought with the eucalyptus and the koala, it's like...
I know, it's really nice.
So it's so literally just by adding that little bit of greenery, turn that way so you can see him. So just by adding that little piece of greenery, you've got balance here. So you've got this nice line coming through here. That line is continued round here, and then it's coming back up into the design. So you've got that whole thing being brought together.
That's fantastic.
So that's with fresh florals, and the reason I use fresh florals a lot is, again, budget. So that has probably cost me something like 20p to put in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All these.
I mean, so I think a bunch of ivy is something. So them stems of ivy, I think was something like £2.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that was probably 185 or.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that it goes a long way because you can just cut little bits of it if you need to.
Yeah. But the disadvantage is you've got to buy it fresh. You've got to buy it on the day almost. So,
exactly.
Okay.
And it will last the party because obviously it's not in water.
Yeah.
But it would last for a party or an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where if you was doing a display and you was event styling, so it might be that you've done something for visual merchandising.
Yeah.
It might be in a shop window.
Yeah.
You've done a corporate event and they want it staying up. Then I would look at going more towards the artificials.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they are expensive. There's no getting away from it. Artificial and dried flowers are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would hire that into your design. So you'd sell, obviously, the design to them, but you would get your florals back.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
So we'll have a go at putting.
So we're taking all these out.
Yeah, we're taking the fresh out. And we're going to see what effect it has. Putting the artificials in.
That smells nice.
So this I found on your website.
Yeah.
And I think this is a Christmassy one.
Okay.
I
It
think
does
this
look
is
Christmassy. It's very glittery, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I don't. At least I'm not wearing black.
I know. I wear glitter all the time now anyway, so I think I'm well known for, I've always got glitter on me. But this is, I think it's called the gum leaf. So I thought that was quite suitable for Mr.
Okay.
Koala.
Very good.
So literally, let's take our ivy out. Did we tie that one in?
You tied that one in, didn't you?
Let's cut that one out.
There you go.
There you go. So again, on these garlands that you've got here, you have actually got little tying points.
Yeah.
So you could tie them in on the tying points. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come round so that I've got a piece hanging here. So it's coming up. And then we can create, so because it's got a slight bend in it, you can create that nice sort of look to it. No, I'm going to bring that across here because that line's wrong.
Do you find you do that? You have a play around?
Yeah, so you do a dry run and step back. And a good thing to do is to take a photo in stages and look at the photo because all your mistakes will show in a photo.
I know, I've discovered that. Dr. Bob was down here a few months ago and I was looking at something and saying, it looks perfect. What's wrong, Bob? It looks fine to me. And then he said, just look at it on the camera. Looked at it on the camera. You could see it instantly. It's really weird.
And it stands out, doesn't it?
Really weird.
It is. It's really weird. So just randomly place that. And then this. Look at the colour. I think that's you've got a green version of this, but this is the grey.
This is nice.
Isn't it a lovely colour? So you could pop these in where we did the other ones. So we would, obviously we would, I'm just going to bend it like that for now.
Yeah.
Okay, but you could come in with your ukes in here.
Don't worry, but you could snip that off.
Yeah, we would, obviously I would cut these to length if I was doing them for a job. And I'm actually going to bring this one this time in here. So I'm going to bring it down. So I'm creating more of my curve with these because they bend nicer.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull that one around the back there so you can't see it.
It's really great. I could just imagine you've got lots of these around a room or something. It really would.
It does. It really sets it out.
Yeah.
But it's because you're creating textures.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're creating interest. And they also look really nice if they're all done at different heights.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, you know, and you can incorporate the big koala, and then on the next post, you could have just like the little baby koala.
Yeah.
And then you could have the baby and the big one. You could even pull the baby one in here.
Yeah.
So you can
Lots of options.
Yeah, definitely lots of options. And if it was for a baby show, like I said, you can bring your colours through.
Yeah.
You could add a little bit of pink or...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Angie, thank you.
More than welcome.
I like learning about the elements and principles of designs and seeing creative people at work. It's really, really interesting. So, yes, thank you so much for that. Thank you for coming in once again. Angie, as a guest on BMTV, as you know, you get to ask everybody the question of the week. What's the question of the week?
Oh, well, I think as we're working with koalas,
Yeah.
what tree is it that they live in Australia?
Oh. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know there was a specific tree.
Well, they go more for a particular tree.
Okay. What tree is it that koalas prefer to live in? Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. And thank you once again.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to get back to this. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon next to it, and you'll be notified every time we upload a new show. And check us out on Instagram as well. Right, stay positive, stay happy, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye.
Bye.